Hello everybody and welcome to Innocentius Plays Shadow Empire, where we just started our nation's path towards conquest. And we're going to enter now and see how that works, because you'll get to kind of see what the AI is doing. You see the history button over here is highlighted. You can at the end also see their movement in a playback. Battles you will also be able to go back to and see kind of what happens. We suffered no losses, made no kills, we have 5 decisions and 51 reports waiting for you. Let's go. Your militia forces hold a parade to show their strength and loyalty. I think this literally happens every second round that you play. The Zeitgeist is gaining more power, and we found some ancient storage. We conquered one of those tiny villages, and we have now 7 machinery extra. We also created some stratagem cards. We can recruit a mercenary, send out a spy, or ask for help. And that's it. So let's take a look at our decisions. We have a military parade. We can not support our military, or we can get some credits to the military. That will increase our militia profile. Now, the militia profile will determine how often your cities will give you a militia. You have a militia score over here, militia level, and having a lot of militia profile will increase that score, while a low one will decrease that score faster. High loyalty will also increase it. Loyalty is 87 right now. But having a regular military like we do right now, we have 1 HQ in the field, will reduce it. But I think it's still always good to have a little bit of militia, because it's pretty much free troops. But we can get back to that a little bit later. We have an able commander offering his service. We've been visited by a formerly military commander of Montgomery Nation. The commander is willing to join our domain in return for our assistance. The required favors that you are to liberate his home village on a hex 7539. So we are at 78, 76, 75, 39. So there's a hex over here, and that's a village like this, and he wants that liberated. And if we do, then he will come and join us. Even though this guy doesn't like it, and here everybody likes it, I like the idea of getting that guy in our nation. So yeah, let's go with that. And we need to set our national budget. But I'm gonna wait with this for a second, because we also have an organizational decisions over here. Our economic council needs a leader. Now, we got this guy last turn, and he's pretty good. Let's take a look into all our leaders. These are all our leaders that we have right now. Our relation with them, and a natural relation point, which depends kind of a little bit on how happy he's with his job, and how happy his party is, and those kinds of things. So what I'm going to look at is basic stats. What is your strength, your war, charisma, and intelligence, and willpower? Well, actually strength and willpower are the least interesting ones, so let's go with war, charisma, and intelligence. And I want to know what your what is it? It is not a skill. Oh, what is it called? Oh yeah, capacity. The capacity level. So we have a couple of 1s and a couple of 3s. So that's pretty okay. Low capacity level just means low skill gain. High capacity level, high skill gain. Whereas the war, charisma, and intelligence is kind of their initial skill that is added towards the skill roll itself. So let's see. Sort them on capacity. Our advisor is pretty good. He has a high intelligence level. And we have a reserve pool member, which also has pretty high intelligence level. Alright. Could be interesting. We might need to shovel a couple of people around because our governor is not that good. So we're probably going to recall the governor. The director of the Supreme Command Council is not that great either. He has some high command skill, but not nearly enough. The commander of the SHQ is okay. We have these three. The commander of the 1st Machine Gun Brigade is pretty decent. Alright, so we need to shuffle somebody into the Economic Council position. And preferably will be somebody who has high capability and high intelligence. So we can make our advisor go into that position. But he has a high administration skill. So perhaps we want to make him the governor instead. Astrid, let's go actually with intelligence. Yeah, Astrid is then the highest with intelligence. Has some investigation skill. Doesn't really help us, unfortunately. Where Ian has some agricultural skill, which also isn't really what we're looking for. So yeah, we're gonna make Astrid our economic counselor. And Oscar is going to be shuffled into the governor position. So let's start with Astrid as the economic counselor. Why is your suitability rating higher? Does agriculture help? Or is it some other thing that is going on that makes Ian better? I don't know actually. Well, in that case, the game recommends us to put Ian in there, and I'm fine with that then.
Copy that.
So relation with him improved, and the other leaders are happy with it due to his seniority. The seniority rank is over here. It's a relatively measure, came between 0 and 100, and 100 is most senior. And the more senior they are, the more entrenched they are with your bureaucracy and everything like that, the more people will want him to kind of stay in place and be appointed to stuff. They don't like high seniority ranked people to be fired. And the reason why I didn't do this one before was because we're going to change their budgets, and nobody likes to get their budget slashed. And everybody likes it when their budget is increased. So now that we have somebody in the Economic Council position, he can appreciate us shuffling up a ton of our resources towards him. The Supreme Command Council will not like that, but that's okay because you're gonna go anyway. You're gonna hate us no matter what we do. And yeah, I want most of our budget to go to the Economic Council. The Supreme Command Council gives us general stratagem cards and will give us our political PowerPoints over here. Well, political PowerPoints are mega important. I think even with this division, we will have more than enough of those.
Yeah.
So let's confirm. So the director does not like us. Unfortunately, the other boy didn't love it either. So it's a bit sad. But let's go to a cabinet. And yeah, you're really shite in this. So we're gonna give you a call. And I'm going to relieve you from your position. And I'm not gonna give you the prospect of another job. That people from his faction will not like that. And other people, because of seniority, will not like it either.
Yes, sir. Roger that,
But
sir.
it will happen. It has to happen. And next turn we'll be able to put a new person in that position. And then we go to Austin. And we're going to click on this guy, Medicine Dutch. You're going to be relieved as well, with no other job in sight so far. Next turn we'll also get a question who we want to put in there. And we have one more guy that we want to fire, and that is our advisor. Not because he's bad, because he's really good. So we're going to call our advisor. We're going to relieve him as well. But we are going to offer him a other job. This will cost more political power points, but it will make it that he and others will not be that mad about it.
Yes, sir.
Alright. So we could have done that last turn. But last turn we didn't have nearly enough political power points, so unfortunately we have to do it this turn. This does mean that this turn a couple of positions will be vacant, which means they will perform, but a lot worse. Then we have the Economic Council task priorities. The big thing with these kinds of priorities is they don't listen well to you. You kind of give them a direction in where you want to go, and they're going to implement it kinda. And we're going to see that now, because what I'm going to do sounds really weird. I'm gonna go 100% into the discovery priority. Everything else has a 0% priority right now. Research makes sense. We have nothing discovered as of yet, so there's not really much research going on. Prospecting will help our zones to discover new deposits such as metal, rare metal, fuel, or water. And economic policies will give us strategic cards. But we're gonna click confirm. I'm gonna take a look at the Economic Council in Organizations, Economic Council. Would you look at that? He didn't do what I said. It's only 64% on Discovery right now and 12 on all the others. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. This is closer to what I want in general anyway for this. So yeah, just go all the way. And then we have the military parade. I'm going to allocate 200 credits because I don't want to sell any of my resources right now to go towards 600 credits. But I do want to give them a little bit of boost.
Yes.
Alright. And we're going to move you up. And we're going to capture this monastery, which gives us a little bit of bureaucratic points. Now, what is bureaucratic points exactly? It's a little bit tricky. And let's see. Where is... Next turn, bureaucratic points. We have 69 this turn, and that means those are divided over our councils equally to what we set them to. So 75% of that goes towards the Economic Council, 25% towards the Supreme Command Council, and the more organizations that you have, the smaller amount of BPs they will get. So in the beginning of the game we could select how many councils we would have wanted. If we chosen to have all the councils, that means all the BPs that we get spread out between all those tiny bits of councils as well. So as you can see, with 69 only and gaining 25, that's a big boost, and that's really helpful. It will help us with research and discovery and everything a lot more. Now expect that this, especially this one, has probably some units on it. So we're gonna move up. Oh, actually there was nobody there. Nope, nobody there either. Interesting. The reason why I expected that is because sometimes these places do have some enemy units on there. And especially since there was some danger near the city, I expected it to be there. Because anything within 4 hexes of the city that is an enemy unit will increase the danger sense in the city. So I would have expected it was here. It's probably around here then, I would say. We'll find out more about that later. Let's move you up. Here is another city. Ooh, and the lake. The lakes are really, really good. And that's for the fact, water. If you have a lake, then you will just get bunches and bunches of water out there. We don't care about rainfall. We have a freaking lake we can mine the shit out of. So that's going to be useful later when we conquer this territory. And trust me, we will conquer that territory. Let's move a little bit to the side so we can get that one. Now we didn't get this one. And that is mainly because they assert some pressure as well. And that's this guy wants to capture this hex, but they pressure the hex a little bit more, or there is a unit there. We have a so-called recon value, and higher recon levels will tell us more about what's going on in that hex. We have a recon value of 65 over here. We have a recon value of 16 over here. The more units you have near there, the more recon value you will have. So there's 101 right now, but if I move this unit all the way over here, it will go down next turn. So let's move the inventory up, and this recon value will go up. So it doesn't look like there's anything there. So let's move and try to surround them a little bit. We'll do that with the rest of those units next turn as well. I don't think we want to push up to that city because we will get caught off, and that will bring us a little bit of problem with supplies. So we're going to go for this small city over here. And these roads are kind of an indication where a city might be. So there's a lot of mountains over here. That means it's really difficult to build roads through. So there's probably not one over here. But there's one going down and down here as well. That probably means that over here there's some city as well. But there's also going a road up. That means somewhere around here is probably another city. And those can be majors or minors. Can be anything. Let's take a look at our strategic cards. You have them in different categories, and we can ask a major for help, but we need to have contact with a major. We can send some spies, which will give us more recon over territory, but we can also increase income tax or decrease it. We could do some juniors or merc, and these are the green cards are the fate point cards, which are really useful and good, but unfortunately these guys aren't that great. Every time you capture a new zone, you get a couple of new cards of this kind of type, plus an extra fate point. And every time the Zeitgeist ends, or a new one starts, I should say, you also get one fate point. I think that's going to be it for this turn. Let's go to the next. Oh, we've got to check up on our farm. It should have been finished by now. And I don't want to start another construction as of yet, even though it might be smart. But I want to build up a little bit of our stuff. And this turn we should be able to see... Oh, we have unlocked... we discovered the tech barracks. Militia lost their influence through the militia chiefs in your cabinet. So we had some chiefs in our cabinet that were pro-militia, and therefore they lost some influence because we fired them. Yikes. We have a low treasury, we need some metal production, and we need to conquer the city. Yeah, we know. Alright, so let's take a look at our farm. Our farm is finished, but it also ran into a problem. It didn't get enough water. And that's a big problem. We don't have this yet. I don't think we'll be able... I don't think this... Oh wow, there's a city over here. Alright. I don't think doing this will mean that it is now in our zone. I do think that we actually need to surround the entire lake. Rivers also help, and it even might mean that we need to have a logistical connection to there. Something to think about. Hang on, didn't we get to scavenge these cities? Let's go to the video. No, we didn't scavenge any of those cities. Well, that's weird. And also a little bit sad. Let's move you over there. Well, we're going to push up a little bit more to see if we can find some enemy units. I don't see anything. Keep on surrounding the guys over here, I would say. So right now we are not at war. We can we don't have established borders either, so we can kind of gobble up that territory. But eventually they will ask us to say, hey, we want to have formal relationship, or we're going to have war. Let's take a look at our decisions. We need to find out who's going to be our advisor. Now, there are a couple of people who are good for it, but we want to appoint a Supreme Command Counselor first. They say this guy is pretty good at it. I do agree. He has some leadership skills, some diplomacy skills. I would like you to be appointed.
Yes, sir.
Over there. And we get a relationship boost of plus 35. And everybody else likes it a lot because he was a very senior member, and therefore we get a lot of extra relationship. Now we need a governor as well. And Astrid is a good governor, they say, and I do agree. I think she will definitely grow into a great
Roger
governor.
that.
And then we have an advisor. An advisor, what an advisor does is you attach it to somebody in some role. And whenever there is a role made, the advisor rolls as well, based on his skill, together with the person of that organization where it's attached to. And you choose the highest of those outcomes. So you want somebody who is good with a capability and some decent beginner stats as well. Preferably some good skills, but that's okay. I think Watson will do fine. And yeah, Montgomery Nation demands regular relations. What that means is, do we accept to respect their borders? Now we can say yes, and we will gain some mind for that. We do like mind. Mind is kind of the profile over here that we're going for as of now. And if we say no, that means war. We are immediately at war. And our fist will go up. Now I don't mind our fist going up a little bit. Because if we say yes, and then we declare war, we will get a penalty because of our relations. People on our land are like, yo, what's up with that? And our fist will go up anyway because we're being aggressive. So in this case, I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to wage war with you.
Yes, sir.
Be ready for it and bring it on. And what we can do now is we have some beautiful artillery over here. Oh, we don't have war yet. I thought we immediately declared war. Well, that's good for us. No artillery strikes for them, for now. But yeah. So our farm is not putting out as much as we would have wanted. And we're running out of food slowly. So we need to remedy that a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to build a mine over here that's going to get this water out over here. And it's gonna be fine until eventually we will get this lake. So let's go to construction, go to mining, and we build an ice mine. It will take 2 rounds and 125 metals and 125 industrial points per round. We don't have that. So that means it's going to build a little bit slower, but that's
Roger that.
And it automatically also builds a road to there as well. Now there is something going on over here with the road, and that will lead us until a talk about logistics. This is how our logistics work right now. We have a privately owned transport hub over here. It will have 400 truck points and 50 action points. Going to this hex is going to next hex. It costs 10 action points. But then you see there's only 166 over here and 199 over there. And that's because these 400 points need to get split to this place, because we need to build stuff over here and such, this place, and this place. It tries to divide it relatively evenly. And that means over here, the truck points and logistic points get split again between this road and this road. So that's why we go from 166 to 199 over here. That's a little bit inefficient. I don't want that. I want more control over it. So we're going to have some traffic signs over here. We're going to block all traffic up over there. Now there's 50 over here. And that's because it goes from here to here. And then it splits off. So we're going to need another traffic sign over here. And now this road is blocked off. It's a road we're not really using anyway, so that's fine. And if we hide our units, you can see that eventually it goes 100, 100, and then 80. It's because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 axes away, and then their action points are done. They don't have any action points anymore, so and then it will slowly degrade. And it could have gone to a little bit more, but the road was cut off. They can only travel over roads. But it helps that our units have carriers themselves as well. This guy didn't get any supplies. Oh, he did last turn, but he won't get any this turn, I think. 1, 2, 3. Well, he might get some, but he won't get his full supplies because the runners, they need to go way too much, even through some. Oh, it's just grassy plains, not forest. It will cost organic supplies 12 action points. And I think they have like 40 action points. So 12, and this is 10 action points. Oh, also 12. Or maybe they have 50 then. So yeah, maybe he will just make it. And you can see this one as well. Also got some supplies over here. But yeah. So that's kind of how supplies work. If we eventually decide to nationalize this, that will piss off the people in Austin. But it will also increase the truck points from 400 to 1,000. And the action points from 50 to 100. So it makes them a lot more powerful, and it means we can expand it. But we could also expand our truck points by truck action points by building a supply base, which will give some 50 extension production, so they can go further. But it's all that we're going to deal with that a lot in a later point. But I just want to cut off that road a little bit. So we've moved all our units, and I think that is it for this turn. I'm gonna go to the end of this turn and then call it for this episode on the start of the next round screen. Let's see what they're moving. So they moved some units out, and they're trying to cut me off over there. We need to re-establish supply lines. But that's gonna be it for this episode. Next episode, we'll probably start declaring war. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.